Look, man, do not let this degenerate world dumb you down, because in the times you live in today, filled with distractions, fuckery, and overall nonsense, you can get caught up into these delusions that overall dim your light. So without further ado, man, let's break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Now, what I'm talking about when I'm referring to don't let it dumb you down, I'm speaking on the fact that this degenerate world, this quote unquote dark world, not evil, not bad or anything like that, it's just degenerate at this time period that we're speaking on right now, is filled with so many different things, with temptations, with distractions, with delusions, with an overall veil of ignorance that makes you stupid not only on your IQ level, but also on your spiritual senses and your spiritual side of this plane of existence. You have no connection to the spiritual side of things. You have no connection to your higher self. You have no connection to the overall consciousness of this reality. You're just walking around in the matrix, in the Maya, in the illusion, thinking that this is all real, thinking that whatever society or social media or your environment shows you is the end all be all. When in reality, it's just a little fabric of it. It's a little piece of it. And when you peel back the layers and you peel back the veil to actually see the truth for what it is, you're gonna understand that you've been sleepwalking your entire life. You've just been following the status quo. You've just been following the social norms that will keep you stuck in your lower states of consciousness and your overall lower states of nature, your lower existence. You didn't come here to just tap into the lower side of your nature. You didn't come here, especially as a human, to tap into that side, to tap into the animalistic side. Because if you were supposed to do that, you would just come as an animal. And in reality, you got to understand that society is built to keep you stuck in those animalistic desires, in those lower states of consciousness. Because why? They can profit off it. They can make all these different types of distractions that brings in money and keeps you still stuck in that state, so you never look or seek beyond it. You never actually think that there's anything past this state of consciousness. And if you're watching this, if you're tapped into this channel, if you're tapped into the main channel and the overall message of my brand, Fulati Fitness, which is about mastering the mind, mastering the body, and mastering the soul, you are gonna understand and pick up what I'm putting down and realize that yes, this is a real thing. And it's not bad, it's not evil, it's just the way the world is going. This is what the Vedics refer to as Kali Yuga, the dark times where spirituality is all the way down and carnality is all the way up. It's gonna shift in the next 1,000 years or whatever to the next cycle, and then it goes to the next cycle, and then comes back to this. It's just always repeating in that same pattern. And even though we're in these dark times, it doesn't mean that you gotta follow the status quo. It doesn't mean that you got to fit in to this degenerate world, because a lot of you guys out there just go with the flow. Go with this whole concept that, hey, everybody else is doing it, why don't I? Everybody else thinks this is right, so why don't I think it's right? Why is everyone else going down this path while I'm trying to go down this path? It does not matter what other people are doing. There's a good quote from one of the Greek philosophers, either it's Socrates, Plato, or Aristotle, that says, if you're on the side of the majority, you're usually wrong. And I'm not saying that, okay, man, just go against everything everybody says, but think about it. Use your higher faculties, use your logic, use your rationalization to see, is this thing, or is this decision I'm making, or is this path I'm going on actually gonna be fruitful for that journey I'm going on of mastering the mind, body, and soul, of self-mastery, of self-realization? Is it counterintuitive, or is it actually going to help me on that path? A lot of people don't think about these things because the degenerate world has dumbed them down. They don't think before they do. They don't actually rationalize and actually look at things for what they are and decompartmentalize it to the point where they see that, okay, if I do this, this is probably going to happen. You're never going to know exactly what life is going to throw out your way, but you can make an estimated guess. And that is what logic is all about. That's what rationality is all about. And that's what people have lost in today's day and age. They let the algorithm choose it for them. They let the social media choose it for them. They let their school choose for them. They let their parents, they let their friend groups, they let their everybody else choose it for them other than themselves. And they think that they're going on their own path. They think that they're actually choosing, when in reality, if you use your brain and you actually reflect, do self-reflection, and see things for what they are, you're gonna be like, okay, if I'm being 100% honest with myself, I've just been following the status quo. I've just been following what I've been told from day one. And is there anything bad about that? No, but you want to wake up from that nonsense. You want to wake up and become a sovereign individual, especially if you're serious about mastering your mind, body, and soul. If you're serious about your spiritual growth, if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, not only mentally, not only physically, but also spiritually, but also socially, but also entrepreneurially, all that stuff. And you got to be able to rationalize and make your own decisions. You can't let other people dictate where your life is going. You can't let other things within this degenerate world distract you from your real purpose. And the more you understand that, the more you actually apply it to your life, not just watching this video and then just going about your day and just getting distracted by other videos, by other sources of stimulus, but actually apply it to the point where you stop and think and actually meditate. Not only just meditate for like things like breath work and your daily routine, but meditate on your decisions, meditate on your actions, meditate on your behaviors. Audit yourself. This is what the law of detachment is all about. This is the stuff I speak about on the Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon. If you want access to exclusive videos, full guides, in-depth occult lectures, monthly masterminds, and much more, go check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video, because there's going to be also things like applying for one-on-one coaching, one-on-one consultation calls, all that good stuff, man. Everything's going to be posted in the pinned comment of this video. But in the Patreon, I'm doing a whole series about the law of detachment, and this is what it's about. This is what it's really conceptualizing. Being able to detach from your impulses, be able to detach from your animalistic responses. Okay, this happens, I got to do this. Okay, that happens, I got to do that. Just take a step back, motherfucker. Relax. Relax. You don't got to make decisions off rip like that all the time, especially if it's going to pull you into that degenerate side of yourself, because you have that lower side to your nature and the higher self. The more you feed into that lower nature, like I keep making this analogy, the more that phone line, the volume gets louder and louder and louder to that the lower side of you speaking to you on your shoulder. The devil on your shoulder, I'm gonna call it the lower side because I don't want to conceptualize anything as evil, the devil, God, this, that. It's not. That's your lower side. That's just your lower nature. The more you feed into it, the louder that the volume of that voice becomes. But the more you feed into the higher self, the more that phone connection to the higher self, which is your direct connection to the universe, to God, to whatever you want to call it, the more that speaks to you, the more the volume of that increases. The degenerate world is built to, so you can only hear the lower side, and that other, the higher self, is muted out. It's completely blocked out. You can't hear it anymore. This is why people get into such dark positions. Why? Because they're making such shit ass decisions and overall paths in life. They're just making the worst choices possible because nothing else is there to direct them towards a better path. They only see this path. And the more you place yourself in these positions, place yourself in these environments, in these situations, the more it's going to grow to the point where, again, you cannot hear that anymore. The degenerate world is built to do that. Don't say it's evil, don't say it's unfair, don't say it's anything. It just is what it is. You can flip the script by putting yourself around certain people, listening to good positive stuff, by overall revealing yourself to the truth of self-realization through these types of mediums, whether it's books, whether it's content, whether that's the people you're around, the environment you're around. If you expose yourself more to that, then you flip the script back to the higher self. And that is the emphasis of this video. Don't just fit in to everybody else, because that is usually going to put you in those degenerate positions where you're gonna only be able to hear that shit side of you, that just overall dark side of you, that lower side of you, that's gonna pull you down from actually reaching your fullest potential in life. You might not, quote unquote, have a bad life by listening to the lower side, but you're never gonna actualize and become and fully embody your highest self, your highest potential. You're never gonna fulfill the dharmic duty or soul mission or soul purpose you came here to accomplish. You came on this plane to accomplish. We didn't come here on accident. We did not incarnate on this realm on accident. I do not believe that. If you want to debate me, you can debate to the wall, because there is too many things that show us that life, there's no accidents in life. God or the universe doesn't make mistakes. We came here for a reason. We got to uncover that reason. That reason's always been there, yet it's just filled. We've just been filling ourselves and filling our overall perceptions with a bunch of nonsense, with a bunch of distractions, with a bunch of delusions that emanate from this degenerate world, that keeps us away from ever awakening to this truth, to this purpose. You can only realize it by cutting through the layers of crap, which is only done by awakening your spiritual senses, by awakening the intuitive side of you, by awakening the expressive and creative side of you, by awakening your overall higher faculties that will slice through all that nonsense that we talked about before. So what I'm really trying to relay to you guys with this video is, please make proper decisions. Don't just follow what everybody else is doing. Don't just follow things that might feel good in the moment, because not only is it just gonna hinder your progress in whatever you're gonna do, but it's gonna pull you further and further down to your degenerate side. And I'm not saying life has to be all perfect and in monk mode and all that stuff. No, that's just not how life is. But you're gonna be put into degenerate situations regardless if you decide to do or not. It's just the world is filled with it. You just gotta be able to have the level of discernment to understand, okay, if I was in this position and now it's totally garbage, it's totally shit, it's not helping me in my pursuits, I'm gonna just shut that shit down. I'm not gonna keep falling into it because everybody else is. You learn your lesson through experience. That's good. You can learn your lesson through experiences of other people and just not put yourself in those positions at all. But sometimes life is going to throw you the curveball and make you feel it for yourself, so you really actualize and realize that this is not productive and it's more counterintuitive to your actual goals in life. So the more you do that, the more you realize that, the more you actually conceptualize that, the more you're going to understand what are the right decisions to make and what are the quote unquote wrong decisions that you should avoid. And when you build that discernment, that level of discernment, it's going to emanate into your character. You're going to change your quote unquote persona, personality, and identity. You're not going to associate with that nonsense anymore. You're going to associate with a more righteous path, with a more holy path, with a more productive path. You don't have to make it religious or anything like that or spiritual, but it's just a more productive path, a more streamlined path, a more effective path to actually live out a good life, because that's what all of us want to do. We want to be happy, we want to be fulfilled, we want to be bringing value to the world, you want to be recognized for the value, all that stuff. It's just base human desires. People want these types of things, just have a good life. Yet if you do those things that are pulling you to your lower self, you're not only going to have a bad life, but you're going to put yourself in positions where you cannot actualize what are the real things I need to do to get me to the higher quality of life, the higher versions of life. Because again, you might enjoy those degenerate activities at the moment, but it's going to take a toll on your mental health, take a toll on your physical health, and take a toll on your spiritual connection to your higher self. But you might like it. You might enjoy it. Yet that's just a lower level pleasures and fulfillments in life. You're never going to feel fulfilled. No, don't ever think you're going to feel fulfilled by doing those things. You're going to get a little cheap dopamine, cheap little sliver of pleasure, but that fulfillment is the highest form of pleasure, the highest form of feeling actualized within the world. It might not come with drugs or this and that, but it's going to feel better than anything that you've ever experienced, because you're actually doing the things that you're brought here to do. You're actually fulfilling that karmic and dharmic duty. You're killing off the karmic debts to actually pursue this dharmic duty. And the soul feels fulfilled. It feels in the present moment. It feels connected to all when it's on that path. That's what we all want to experience. Yet a lot of people think that no, they want this, they want that, they want this material thing, they want this accomplishment, they want this award, they want this status, they want this girlfriend, they want this car, they want this clothes. All that stuff is cool. I'm not saying don't chase material things. Actually, don't chase any material things. Just do the things to bring value to the world, and whatever material things come to you, they come to you. If you have a goal to get this car, okay, that's cool, go for it. I'm not saying not to do it, but don't be attached. Don't make it seem like if I get this car, I'll feel fulfilled, I'll fully feel whole, and my identity will not be attached to this car. You're gonna get that car, you're gonna get that clothes, you're gonna get that house, you're gonna get all this money, you're gonna get that girlfriend, and guess what? You're gonna still feel empty if you're not actually pursuing the path of self-mastery that's gonna lead you to the ultimate state of self-realization. So don't get deluded by even those type of things. It's not quote unquote degenerate, these material possessions, but attaching yourself to them can make you just not tap into your highest potential. Just tap into, okay, what can I get for myself, and myself? Yes, you need to be able to support yourself, but once you quote unquote accomplish your selfish desires to be able to support yourself, then you go into your selfless acts. The most selfless thing you can do is be selfish by actually acquiring knowledge, information, and value that you can give out to other people. Don't just give out your time, don't just give out your energy, don't just give out your resources to people around you when you're not set up in a position where you can freely give it out, because you're going to be depleting yourself into the point where you're going to be running around and scattering around the world and just scavenging for breadcrumbs. Stack up your bread and just build your empire. Once it's set up and ready to go, and it's you set up shop, then open up the doors and open up the gates and open up your overall wisdom and knowledge and information and just overall love to the world. Do that on the way there, yes, but when you really are established, when you really are at the level where you can give out this information, give out your knowledge, and give out your expertise, don't think about, okay, I got to do this for other people, I got to do this for other people, I got to do that for other people. Because at the end of the day, you cannot help people if you're not in the position to help them. You cannot pour water from an empty cup. If that cup is not filled up, guess what? How are you going to help people? So focus on that path, that mission, and don't get distracted by all the nonsense in the world. Don't get distracted by the temptations of your degenerate side, of your lower nature, and focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not only for yourself, but then to actualize it and express it to the world as a whole, to express it to the overall evolution of the human consciousness. That's what we're here to push. That's what we're here to actually accelerate, the evolution of the human consciousness, bringing us from the lower side all the way up to the higher side. Imagine everyone in this world was operating at their higher self. We'd probably ascend to another realm. We'd probably ascend to the next phase of this journey we call life. Yeah, a lot of people are stuck on the material world and come back here over and over and over again through the cycle of samsara, through the cycle of reincarnation, because they have not detached themselves from the degenerate world and all the desires that come along with it that just delude you from the real duty and the real purpose you're brought here to accomplish. So wrapping all these things together, please, again, open or elevate your level of discernment. Ask yourself things, inquire, do self-inquiry, do self-reflection. Why are you doing certain things? Why are you on certain paths? If it's just for other people and if it's just to fit in with this degenerate world, you're just doing yourself a disfavor. Not only you're doing yourself a disfavor, but you're also doing the entire world a disfavor, because you need to actualize your highest potential to help the overall humanity. Just tapping into 50% of your potential ain't gonna help as much as you could if you're tapping into the 100%. So please just realize these type of things. Why am I going to the club? Why am I going to the party? Why am I drinking? Why am I smoking? Why am I doing drugs? Why am I chasing women? Why do I want this car? Why do I want this clothes? Why am I on this career path? Why am I going to school? Why am I doing anything that I am? You don't want to get too schizophrenic and psychopathic with it, where you actually start questioning, why am I drinking water? Why am I breathing? Like, relax. I'm not telling you to do that shit. I'm telling you to actually think about the decisions you make. And if you realize it's attached to degenerate and nonsensical actions and behaviors, yet you still might go for it. I'm not telling you not to do it, but at least be aware. If you want to have a time in your life where you go and be degenerate and just tap into the lower side, that's a part of life. I totally understand, but I'm not telling you to just let that be your natural state of being. But most people are in that default mode. The degenerate mode is their default mode. They don't think, they don't realize, they don't even actually conceptualize that there's something higher, that there's something beyond just the stuff that I'm doing right now, that I could be doing something better. It's just whatever I see around me, I'm just gonna follow it. Social media is telling me to do this, so I'm gonna do it. My friends are all doing this, so I'm gonna do it. My environment is filled with this, so I'm gonna do it. You don't gotta do nothing, man. Make your own decisions in life, especially if you want to be a sovereign and divine masculine man. You gotta make your own decisions. You can't let other people dictate it. You can't let me, myself, trying to give you this information, dictate it for you. I'm just trying to give you the tools, information, and awareness to make your own decisions. That's the whole goal of everything I preach. Give y'all information, wisdom, knowledge through education, entertainment, and enlightenment so you guys can make better decisions in your life. Give you the tools to uncover the answers that are within. The knowledge that is within, aka gnosis. All I'm trying to do is give you the things that help me do that, and the things that help other people from ancient times do that, and the things that might help you do that. Some things you might accept and actually agree with, some things you might not. But at the end of the day, you got to make your own decisions in life, and this is what this whole video is about. Don't let this degenerate world dumb you down, make you think that this is all there is to life, make you make poor decisions, make you think that this is what everybody else is doing, so I got to do it too. That's just dumbing you down. That's just dumbing your potential down. That's just watering your actual potential down into nothing. It's just diluting it. The more you make your own decisions, the more you actualize it. Because as you make your own decisions, your level of consciousness raises, and the level of consciousness raises, guess what? You tap into that phone line with the volume increasing to the higher self, giving you the directions, giving you the information, giving you the insights through divine intuition of what you need to do in life, of what's the next step you need to take, of what's the next goal you need to pursue, what's the next thing that is in line for your path. That is the ultimate way to go about this journey we call life. Intuition and logic working hand in hand. That is the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the Adam and the Eve, the Shiva and the Shakti. You dig what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? This is all gonna help you slice through the nonsense, slice through the Maya, the illusion, the matrix, and bring you towards the real reason that you were incarnated here. The real reason you were actually brought on this plane. What is that purpose? It's not on accident, it's not for nonsense, it's not just for pleasure. It's for a genuine purpose. And when you're on that path towards that purpose, you get the most pleasure and most fulfillment you ever will in your entire life. I guarantee you that. Come on, man. Come on. Don't let all this nonsense, all these distractions, all these temptations, delusions, knock you off the path towards your divine duty, your divine purpose. You're brought here for a much bigger reason than you might think. Come on, man. Come on. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these games. I'm out here. Peace.